Hello, everyone, and welcome to the learning webinar on design thinking. Thank you so much for joining us today. So, let me introduce you to our dear mentor, Mr. Rajkumar Gokul sir. Sir has postgraduated from IIT Delhi in machine design and has done MBA in marketing. He worked in various MNCs in the automotive, aerospace, process, and healthcare industries. Sir has 20 years of experience in new product introduction, research and development, simulation, and electronic schooling. Sir have extensive knowledge in robotics, surgery while working in medical device industries. So thank you Rajkumar sir for taking this webinar. Thank you for sharing your knowledge or expertise with us through this webinar on design thinking. Thank you so much. Over to you, sir.
Thank you, Preeti, for nice introduction. Today we will talk about an essential element of design, that is design thinking, and we will see how design thinking change the way design is done. And we will walk through some of the examples of real life where industries has used design thinking and gets lot of benefits. I am now associated with Deya as a career mentor, and this is my second webinar. So to begin with, what is design thinking? If you see, the design thinking is human centered, iterative, and collaborative approach for creatively solving real world problems and building solutions that are desirable by customers, technically feasible, and which makes business sense. So if you see this definition, it looks very lengthy, and but if you check the words, each word has a meaning which will describe design thinking. Like human centered, design thinking is always talks about human centered, keeping human in center of the design and designing for human. It's iterative process, so we will talk more detail about how it's iterative process and collaborative approach. It get involvement from all. So if you take the example of Apple, the CEO is chief innovative officer, so it's not chief executive officer. CEO of the Apple is chief innovation officer. So it's collaborative approach, everybody get involved into it. Then it require creative solving the real world problem. So each word, as I describe, has a specific meaning. And when it says desirable by customers, it's customer focused, it's technically feasible, and it makes business sense, then it will complete the design thinking process. So we'll talk more in detail about design thinking process, but before that I would just like to explain how the user centric approach of design thinking leads to innovation. And when a company or an enterprise or a startup do innovation, how it leads to differentiation and it give competitive advantage. So everybody knows that in today's world it is very much required to innovate and do the things differently again and again to remain in the marketplace. So if you look at the bottom picture, the design thinking tells that you have to know your target audience, know your problem statement, go crazy with ideas, and then implement the solution. And we will talk in detail about that. So why design thinking? If design thinking has some benefit, what are those benefits which design thinking will bring? So one is it is applicable across the industry. Okay, so it's, when I say it's applicable across the industries, whether it's the product industry, service industries, it's applicable and used by all the industries. Okay, and it revolve around the creative ideas and solutions and innovation. So it's always encompass and fast and furious prototyping, like rapid prototyping techniques to test the ideas and taking those ideas to customer for the feasibility studies. Okay, and as I talked in the definition, it's a cross functional teamwork. So it's not only the design department who design and give it to manufacturing or marketing. It's the cross functional team which involves right from the management to the manufacturing to the salesperson to the marketing. Everybody involvement will be there. So it is required as a cross functional teamwork to arrive at an implementable solution. data points and facts for appropriate business decision. So at the end of the day, it should make a business sense and it should be technically feasible. And then once it make a business decision, then it's become a win-win situation for industry as well as customer. So let's see what is design thinking process. So as we have talked about that it is human centric product design. There are 5 steps of design thinking process, and all the steps we will see how the it connects to the customer or the human at every stage of the design thinking process. So empathize. First is empathize. Empathize means you have to feel what customer is feeling as a problem or an issue, or what type of design solution customer is looking for. So you have to get in touch. So every team member of the design thinking team has to get first hand understanding of customer, take their views, questionnaires, do some research, and then comes to the next stage of defining the problem. In this stage again, once the defining of problem and sorting of the problems is done, which problem we are going to solve as a design thinking team, again go back to the customer and confirm. So the review is done with the customer, not done as a internal reviews, which is generally done in a traditional design approach. Then in ideate third stage, lot of brainstorming sessions will be done, and lot of ideas generated brings on the table, and those idea evaluated again from the perspective of customer or human centric, whether it will solve real problem or not. And then having the prototype build prototype build quickly and taking it to the customer for the test. So lab tests are very limited in design thinking process. It's mostly the test with the customer, and try to check what problem statement is defined with the help of customer involvement, it is solving those or not. Okay, so whether it is a new app, community service, or a physical product, the best thing one can do is innovate successfully. To innovate successfully is to keep user in mind at every step in the design process. So that's where design thinking always win ahead of other processes, as it always take care and talks about the human and the problem solving approach, keeping human in the center of all the process. So now first we have understood what is design thinking, what is design thinking process. Let's try to understand what as a design thinking team has a toolkit in to actually explore and define and ideate and prototype the design, and then test and present and implement. So if you see in the exploration, lot of research and lot of interactions with the customer is done, and for that obviously lot of reach to the customer in a various form, getting their input is required. And then even in the definition stage, it is not defined within the boundary of the company, it is defined and then re confirm with the customer as what is needed. So clarity on scope. If you see the 4 tips on getting design thinking project done successfully, the clarity on scope, the problem to solve, that is very very essential. So first 2 steps, exploring and then defining, is very very essential to bring the clarity on scope, and then to generate ideas and to develop prototype, the stage third and fourth. So break down project into meaningful tasks and milestones. Okay, and then once the prototype is developed, it may be a small stage prototypes. Okay, and that will get tested with customer. So suppose an app is developed, an alpha version or a beta version, and then taking it to the customer to understand how and what customer like and what doesn't like, what need to be improved. So this will also come to the point how the awareness is done and how it is presented basically to the customer, how the benefits are explained. This all will comes under the sixth toolkit, that is present. And then implementation. So we will come to that implementation part in more detail, because this become more crucial than the all the steps, where if a good idea is not implemented well, everybody knows that it may result into unoptimized results. So implementation is also thought about very well in detail in design thinking process, so that failure may not occur at the implementation phase. Otherwise, in general, lot of good design comes into the market and they not able to attract the customer or reach up to the level what is desired for, because of the lack of implementation phase and strategies. So we will discuss how design thinking will overcome these difficulties and define and make implementation also a key part of success of any products or services. So, as we talk about and combine this toolkit with four tips of getting the design thinking project successful, like clarity on scope, breaking down projects into meaningful tasks and milestone, assigning accountability, including team leader. As we talked about collaborative approach, so it's not the design team who will design and deliver. It's everybody has an accountability and participation in the design thinking process, and it's required set realistic outcomes and deadlines. It is very much important. Once the clarity on scope is there, the outcomes and deadlines should be set very realistically. If you have any question, you can put in the chat window, and at the end of the session I would like to answer the questions. So moving on to the important part, the implementation phase. Now if you see the six implementation phase, I would like to explain those with the help of an example on the right hand bottom corner. So the tomato ketchup bottle design is a very good example of design thinking implementation. So in the traditional approach, the designer think, yes, we know what our user wants and we have the best technology, we will do the good design and that will be liked by the customer. However, that didn't work well. So design is good, the technology used is good, and everything is done well, but it is not liked by the customer and it still has issues when customer use it. So opening it and getting the ketchup out is, you have to turn the bottle upside down. All those even for small children will become difficult. So on the other side, when design thinking team is formed and they approach to the customer, they sit with the customer, they observe it, they listen to the customer, they try to understand what is the pain point, and then they define what user want. So then they start focusing on the user need, what challenges they are facing, and to solve that, instead of assuming that we know everything about the user and we have the expertise to design it. Instead of that, they change the approach to design thinking and implies empathy and utilizes constant iterations. So as I said, in design thinking, prototyping quickly and then getting the customer feedback and then iterating it to improve it before actual launch. So that makes much more sense. So if you see the red bottle upside down has a flip up opening and the bottom cap, and it also stand on that cap. So no need to turn upside down, and it comes on the gravity, with the gravity on its own very easily, and it's give delight to the customer. So in both the approach, you have seen the clear difference, that even though on the left hand side the designer are good, they design very well and use good technology to design it, still they lack in the user focused, and they lack what exactly user want and give the solution for it. While when they apply the design thinking process and implement it in their design, the results come very fruitful, and the design now solve lot of customer issues. So moving on to the next slide, to give you a feel that how the design thinking examples. So if you just see the implementation phase, what we have said, there are 6 steps of implementation phase. Understanding how to bring your solution to life is very essential, to bring solution to life, not keeping the solution within the industry but bringing to the customer. Select among dozen concept by getting the actual customers involved, and designing and building prototypes as solution, and running interactive prototype test with customer. So if you see, all these steps required customer to be get involved, customer involved in the concept selection, customer involved in prototype testing, and all those steps customer is given priority and it get involved, so nothing get missed and the outcome will be acceptable by the customer, and it will solve the customer issue when the design comes out. So before actually launching it, company has to check the technical feasibility and economical feasibility or viability, so that once the product is launched, it can sustain well within the market. And finally, how to market in the real world. So it is also very essential to plan for the marketing in the real world, to approach to the customer which are targeted one, and in a way, as we talked about, the presentation is very very crucial, and where awareness about the product and how to use it and what benefits it will give, what problems it is solving, everything together will make a marketing story, and finally it makes into the real world. So your solution right from starting to the end should be customer centric, so that it will not get bounced back by the customer. So here we talk about some of the industry examples when design thinking is applied, lot of benefits comes to the industry. And not only the industry, we will talk about what all benefits comes to the customer and what else to the industry. So if we talk about the Starbucks way back a decade ago, when they saw the queue is getting longer and longer and it's taking lot of time for the customer waiting in the queue, they launched the mobile payment app alternative to the card sweeping, and that time it went very well taken by the customer, and that was the result of design thinking, and the store lines moves 10 to 20% faster. So it benefited both as a customer, less waiting time, as a industry it is giving more number of customer served in the same time. So if you talk about the second example, Apple has retail stores designed around the activities, not around the products. So if we go to traditional shop or the traditional store, it has a showcase and it has a person behind a counter where the products are displayed. And when you want to look, you have to ask for the products to identify and to look details about it, get touch and feel. But if you visit real Apple store, the first thing itself is you get directly to the product. Products are displayed in such a way that you start getting experience of product, you touch and feel and see the product, and once you are comfortable with any product, then you ask the shopkeeper or the retailer to explain more details or give details about it before you purchase it. So it gives you an experience, and that's where when we say user centric, so retail stores are designed around what the activities user would like to do in which sequence. Okay, and that's where it's most profitable retail store per square foot. So that is where design thinking, we always talk about human centered design, keeping always the approach where what way the customer would like to have it. So similarly, PNG and Adobe apply the design thinking in their one. So if you talk about PNG, they launched the Tide pouch. So no need to do measurement. You can just have the pouch which already measured quantity is there and you can use it. Similarly, if we talk about Adobe, change the product based model to a cloud based subscription model. So product is same, but they understood that PDF reader, other Adobe products people are using, but they are not using throughout the day or throughout the working hours. So it requires very minimal time, and instead of owning many, a customer wants that whenever they require they can just use for those couple of minutes or hours and they will pay for it. So when Adobe understood this, they changed the product design, their product based model to cloud based subscription model, and that they got millions of subscription based on that, and that benefited both customer as well as the company. So if we see the design thinking process when applied, it has an impact on so many things. Okay, and if you see on the right hand top side, you will understand that first of all it require a different working culture. So as we talked about, it's a teamwork, it's a collaborative work, cross functional team, everybody comes together and everybody work involving the customer at every stage. So it first of all change the working culture and in a positive way. And then second is it gives lot of innovation into the process. Lot of innovations, lot of challenges are solved through idea generation, the brainstorming and rapid prototyping, where lot of cross functional team works together. So it leads to innovations, and then users are integrated into the system. So as we talked, customers are involved in most of the steps. So it integrates the user during the process of design itself, and it saves cost at various stages of product design or services. Okay. So there are some internal benefits as well. So before going to that, we see that sales, as we see in the examples, industry examples, the sales grows fast and the profitability improves, and that is what the companies want. So more and more companies are nowadays going for design thinking, applying in their industry, and that is bringing a cultural change, and it's giving not only the cultural change but also improving sales and having profitable business for them. So with this one I will turn to answer couple of queries where people are looking for career in design thinking. So if you see all the three courses or all the three design thinking workshop or design thinking courses I have mentioned here are run by the business schools. Okay, so MIT, ISB, Stanford, all are business school and very well known reputed business school. They run the design thinking workshops, design thinking courses. So in general, if as an engineer or as an art designer, if one thing that should be taught in the college, engineering college, arts college, or in some industrial design colleges, when this is so critical and important. However, this is yet to get integrated in the engineering courses or in the art college courses or industrial designer courses. It always require a level up of thinking which coming from the business schools. So if one is looking for a design thinking course to enhance the career in design, one can go for either of the business school online course or workshop, but I prefer workshop because lot of practical understanding and practical experience comes when you go for a design thinking workshop. And when I went through the course with ISB, I saw a difference in my thinking before and after attending this workshop. So a design thinker, what exactly will do? A design thinker leads human centered product design or services and innovation engagement across the range of industries. In India and overseas, a lot of design thinkers are given preference for various positions. Strategic design leader, as a strategic design leader in a company, or a design master, because a design thinker not only encompasses the experience of design but brings the innovation culture and new way of human centered design on the table. So industry give lot of importance to design thinking, because that, as we have seen throughout the presentation, it is win win for the customer as well as for the industry. And there are various fields and examples, a couple of them we have seen, but I have listed few of them here as well. Like as a video game designer, as a graphics designer, as an industrial designer, even as a fashion designer, whichever design field you are in, design thinking is must to have, or we say essential element for artistic career in design. You require the design thinking per se. So with this one, I thank you everybody, and I would like to take their questions. Before that, just I would like to quickly give a glimpse of design thinking, 5 steps of design thinking process which we talked. So here are the definitions of those, and hope I have explained those in the way they should be. So just have a look on this, and then we will start the some polls and the question answer. So the first question from Dipankar is design thinking part of design engineering? So as I explained in one of the slide here, design thinking is taught by the business school and till date is not a part of an engineering course. However, in industry it is very very critical, and so most of the industries are tying up with the business or management schools and getting their design, not only design engineer, but getting their whole team trained in the design thinking process to develop fast and furious the products as well as customer centric approach. Another question is, what is difference between user driven and design thinking process? User driven design and design thinking process are, I will not say much difference, but they are close by. However, in design thinking, the customer involvement is high. So at every stage, customer get involved in the design decisions. So decisions are not taken within the industry or in silos, but review process and decision process customer get involved, and that's where the design thinking process require a constant involvement of customer, and it makes a difference between the other user driven design and design thinking process. Not all designs are where you can always involve the customer. So there are designs where it is done for industry or for the businesses, where it is more of process driven. For example, design done for automation of the automobile industry, for example, manufacturing line automation. So that is driven more by the processes rather than the customer. So there are designs which when used by the end user, when end user is a human, and then the design thinking process become more relevant and directly it can be applied. Hope this have answered you the difference between user driven design and design thinking process. So it's just the viewpoint which we, means our way of looking it will change the design approach, and that's where design thinking comes into picture and it helps. So there is a question, are we going to complete design thinking during M1 and M2 milestones? Are we doing any initial scope change after getting proto approval from customer? So let me answer one by one the question raised by Hita. So generally in industry we have different milestones. What she is talking about, M1 and M2 milestones. Okay, and the question is, are we going to complete design thinking during this? So it's not to say that it get completed in M1 and M2 milestone. Rather, throughout the time design thinking will be on till the customer get the product and use it, and we understand that now it solves the customer problem. However, during M1 and M2, design thinking is applied in full fledged. That's where the design process of the company actually has the milestone of M1 and M2. And the second question is, are we doing any initial scope change after getting proto approval from customer? Yes. So as we talked about, design thinking process is an iterative process, and we not only change the scope but also change the design. So scope is clearly defined iteratively with the involvement of customer. However, certain point of time it so happen that after seeing the initial proto look and feel, physical touch, that will bring lot of perspective again from the customer point of view and from the design team point of view. So there is possibility of scope change, but the problem statement generally does not get changed, because problem statement still remains the same. The scope of what all it is going to solve and how it is going to solve, what all features we are going to give to the customer to solve it, means how the user experience is to be improved. Those all will enhance, or I will say improvise the scope. So problem statement remains the same. However, there is a chance of scope enhancement after the proto approval from customer, or I will say proto evaluation by customers and various stakeholders. Hope this has answered your question, Hita. So Kalyan, question is, I am a design thinking coach, and what is the future since I see less opportunities? So lot of big companies have already tied up and involved the customers, means already their engineers have got trained into the design thinking process. So like Six Sigma, a wave has come for a decade. The industry was behind the Six Sigma and implemented Six Sigma very well. Everybody got trained, and then saturation has come. Now it all get built into the process and stabilized. So same may happen for the design thinking coaching. However, for a designer it is essential. So till the time the industry get maturity, right now only few big companies have implemented it, and lot of startups are looking for those approaches. And since the design thinking is a lean approach and it involves everybody, a startup will be a good idea to approach for design thinking coaching, where more and more startups are coming in India, and I will say lean approach for them as a design thinking implementing in their small industry or small setup can be beneficial. So Kalyan, my suggestion is to approach or concentrate your efforts towards more of startup and less on the big industries. There is a question from Milin. What is the role of NID in those fields? So National Institute of Design actually runs various design courses. Most of the colleges through them actually they are right in teaching the technical part of it. So when I say technical part of the design, if somebody goes for fashion design course or somebody goes for industrial design course, they got art and science behind the design and they master it during those courses and field. However, at that stage, focusing, becoming narrow focused and giving a design thinking course may make sense, which is, as I said, yet to get integrated. This is more driven by the business schools as it involves the management. Unless until management of a company would like to go for it and give go ahead for design thinking approach, it doesn't flow down to the bottom, and a design team or a design engineer in itself alone cannot implement it. So that's where design schools or design institute focused more on the technical and, as I say, science and art part of it for designer and their curriculum, and then design thinking comes at a later stage. So as a career option, as a Dheya mentor, when we prescribed courses, we suggest design thinking as an workshop to enhance and coming as a competitive advantage for a somebody who is looking career in design. So that's where we try to give the career mentorship and suggestions to those who come to us for career mentoring. We will find out those things which will make a differentiator in the marketplace as well as competitive advantage and give an edge over others as a career to enhance the career of a individual. One more question is, what is the cost of this course? So generally a design thinking workshop is 8 days full time workshop. When I say full time, you have to stay there close by or there only, because it require 14 to 15 hours of day time. So 8 days of those time to be given, and it cost around 1 to 1.5 lakh of rupees, but it's always done in a team. It is not a certification, simple certification course which is done individually, and always there is a product or service comes out as an output. So a real project will be solved for an industry or a service provider, and those who attend the workshop, they will actually go for a real time experience.
Thank
Yeah,
you so much, everyone, and thank you so much, sir.
yeah,
It was really, really educating. That's
yeah,
that. Thanks a
yeah,
lot.
yeah. Thanks a lot.